What's going on, my people? I've got a quick live I'm going to do. I don't do lives very much. It's been a while since I've done this, but I'm going to share a little bit about the treadmill and why you're not getting maybe good progress on the treadmill. A lot of people do treadmills all the time. They'll, do an hour a day or whatever, and they're not getting progress. So you wonder what's going on. Why are we not making progress even though you're doing it continuously? So I'm going to explain that to you today. So I'm going to start here with a little bit of and I'm going to start with maybe a few miles an hour. Okay. Let me go a little bit more. Trying to do what you do, what you're probably doing at the gym and at your place. So I'm going to go up a little bit more. Okay. So this is like 2 miles an hour. Some people do this and they'll think, I'm working out. And that's fine. You are doing something at 2 miles an hour. And they will do this for maybe an hour. So which means they cover 2 miles. And they wonder why they're not getting results. So what they'll do, sometimes people will increase it to rather than doing an hour, I'll go to 90 minutes. So now you're 90 minutes on the treadmill at 2 miles an hour. And your results still are just marginal. And there's a reason why you only get marginal results. I'm going to explain a principle to you, and maybe you can understand it because I'm going to relate it to the treadmill. But water boils at 212 degrees, right? At 212 degrees, water boils. What happens when water boils? It changes from a liquid state to a vapor state. It becomes steam. When it becomes steam, it picks up power. Now water being transformed into steam has a new application. There's so many things that you can use steam for that you can't use with just water. Steam has enough power where it can literally drive an engine. There are steam engines, so it shows how much power you have when water is transformed from a liquid state into a vapor state. So ultimately, this transformation will not happen until it gets to 212 degrees, right? So transformation happens at a certain level of heat or intensity. Once that reaches 212 degrees, transformation happens, water begins to boil, and power resonates. When you're on the treadmill or when you're working out, what ultimately you want is transformation. You want your body to be transformed from being a fat self to a more healthy self or to something that's more pleasing. You want some result, losing weight, getting in shape, changing your body composition, but you want transformation to happen. Just like with the law of physics, when it comes to boiling water, water does not burn water does not boil at whatever temperature you want it to boil at. If you have your temperature set at 180 degrees and you put a pot in the stove at 180 degrees, you will never get boiling water. The water will eventually evaporate. It'll gradually dissipate because of the heat, but it will never boil. You'll never have transformation. You'll never receive the power and the results that you can apply or that you want when water begins to boil. Okay? You cannot apply hot water to the same thing that you want to do with boiling water or with steam. So when you're working out, if your set point for you to have transformation when you're working out is a certain level of intensity. Let's say if that intensity is a 8. Just say measure, see 8. If a level of intensity of 8 is needed for you to get transformation, for you to lose fat, to get to where you want to be, but if you're working out right now at a level 4, if that's your level of intensity, you'll never get the result. You'll never get the result because you're not get to the point of transformation. Just like with that water, if it boils at 212 degrees, and then you set it at 180 degrees, you say, I'll just leave it on longer. It's never going to boil because you got to raise the intensity. You got to raise the heat to 212. No matter how long you stay on the treadmill, it's not going to change get the transformation you want. You can stay on that for 2 days. And eventually you'll just get frustrated because you're not getting a result because you're not reaching a level of intensity to where transformation takes place. All right? So With that water, if you're at 180 degrees, the water's not boiling, you got to increase the intensity. Once it gets up to 211 degrees, you have very hot water. Yeah, you're sweating a lot. I'm working out hard, but you're not transforming because you're not reached that level of 212 yet. There's a certain level of intensity you need to get a result. And you can't just do it, just say, oh, I just keep working out and it'll happen. You'll get some result, yes. Remember, at 180 degrees or 200 degrees, water will evaporate. It will gradually dissipate, but you'll not get the boiling water that you want because you need to have a certain level of intensity. All right, so how do you do that? So right now, I've been at 2 miles an hour, and you can hear I've been able to talk to you pretty reasonably, comfortably. And you'll see people at the gym, they're on the treadmill, they're talking to each other. That's fine. That's good. I've been doing this for 6 minutes now. I could do this for 60 minutes, and I won't get much result from it. I'll get some result. I'm not going to negate the fact that treadmill does not give you a result. I'm talking about if you want to get the maximum gain, if you want transformation to happen, what you go into the gym for is transformation. That can't happen at the level of intensity or the level of effort that I see most people applying. You've got to bump it up a notch. That's just it. You got to bump it up. So here's what we'll do. At 2 miles an hour right now, I'm running about 7 minutes. I have to increase the intensity. And let me increase that with a little speed here. Now this is 3 miles an hour. I'm burning more calories. But at this, I can still talk to you. I'm not laboring. I'm going to leave it here just for a few minutes, for a minute or so. But what my point is, even at this level, I'll not reach point of transformation. It's not intense enough. So if you're working out for an hour a day at 2 miles an hour, you say, well, I'll just increase it to 2 hours a day. No. So now you're covering 4 miles in that 2 hours. No, the idea would be to try and, if you're only going to do an hour, start bumping it up. Start rather than 2 miles an hour, go up to 3 miles an hour for an hour. 3 miles an hour for 1 hour. Now you're covering a lot more time and more distance, and you're working more intensely. But you're only going to get a certain result there. You got to find out what your transformation point is. One person may have a transformation point at 5 miles an hour. Yours may be 4 miles an hour because your body is different. Your body composition is different. So you got to kind of play with this a little bit and find out how intensely you need to work out. How do you need to do this thing in order to get a result? Right now, I can tell you at 3 miles an hour, the way I'm doing it now, I will not get the result that I really want because, from working out for a while, I can tell what my body is working at. It's not working at a real working, intense pace. So let's pump it up a little bit more. Okay, 4 miles an hour. You don't see people on the treadmill hardly ever walking at this pace. It's usually very comfortable. But now I can feel my heart rate is increasing more. Breathing has become a little bit more, my body's using a little bit more oxygen, which is what you want to happen. With aerobic work, you're using oxygen. I can feel my body using oxygen. And I'm feeling like I'm getting close to that point where I need to be working out. I've been at this for 1 minute so far, and you can tell by the way that I'm sounding when I'm talking to you and my breathing that this is more intense. So if I want to get a result, I've just doubled my effort. When I first started talking to you, I was doing it at 2 miles an hour, which is what you probably do. And now I'm at 4 miles an hour. And if I was to maintain this for 30 minutes, I'll get more than twice the result that you are getting at 2 minutes at 1 hour. At 2 miles an hour for a whole hour. So what you'll do is you'd work out with this for a while. Find the pace. I can feel this in my legs now. I can feel it in my lower back and my glutes. But this is not fun. You can't chat with someone while you're doing this. You're going to be a little bit more focused when you're doing this. I find that even now when I'm looking at the camera, I have to be aware of my balance. Okay? But that's the level of intensity that you need to work out. This is it, guys. This is the way you do it. Most people do not work out, get that pot boiling at 212 degrees, right? I still may not be at 212 degrees as far as, that boiling point analogy. I still may have to go up a little bit. Let me go. Wow. This is almost running. But what will happen if you stay with this? You get used to it. It'll soon be no problem. And you'll see the result that you want. Knock it down and chat with you for a minute. Okay. But can you see the difference? You can see the difference when I started working at a level of intensity. I hadn't broke a sweat yet, but it'll be just a moment. If I just do another minute or so, I've been sweating. That sweating is an indication of, again, transformation. Your body's pushing off fat. It's starting to burn more calories. I've been at this now for about 12 minutes. And just only the last couple of minutes have been at the level of intensity that I need to work at. Okay, so let's just recoup. Let's just review. All right. Most people work out at a level of intensity that's comfortable. They are comfortable. They can chat with people and they can feel good about working out. You break a sweat. You get tired. That's great. I don't want to negate that it doesn't do anything. But if there's a certain level that you want to get to, if there's a certain effort that's required, and you're not working at that level of effort, you're not get your result. You'll feel good about working out, but you won't get the result that you ultimately want to get. I can't see you. I know you're making comments. The phone's way over there, so I can't see you. But I know you're there, and I feel the love. Okay, so thank you. Thank you for being part of this. And I hope my audio is catching up. So hope this has not been a waste. I'm using my mic here. Okay. If you're doing 2 miles an hour and you're not getting results, and you're doing 30 minutes, 2 miles an hour at 30 minutes, keep the 30 minutes there, but start bumping up to 2.5 miles an hour. Okay? And you'll accomplish more ground. You'll accomplish, a little bit further distance in that 30 minutes, and then bump it up to 3 miles an hour. Keep working at it. Bump it up to 4 miles an hour. And at 4 miles an hour, let me show you what 4 miles an hour, you're working. Let me get to 4 miles an hour. This is 4 miles an hour. You're working. And again, there's no way that you cannot get a result because you've just doubled your intensity. And if that's what is needed for you to get the transformation, then you can never get the transformation with less. All right? So increase the intensity, increase the heat, pump up the volume, and let's make it awesome as you are. All right? Let me see if you have questions. I'm going to go over and check my phone for questions here and see if there's anything I can respond to before I close this thing out. That's work, man. That's work. What's going on, Pamela? Love you. Love some Pamela. Good morning. Who else is on? Okay, who else? Jimmy, what's going on, man? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Don. All right, all right, all right. Good. I don't see like I have any questions there. But at any rate, that's how you do the treadmill. Now for my guys, we're going to be on today at 6 p.m. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. There's a link. You have to go to a link because it's a private group. It's a men's group, men's only. So look on. I usually have a Facebook post announcing it, and there's a link where you can join us at 6 p.m. Today I'm talking about lost. What it means to be lost and how guys get lost and how to basically find yourself and get back to the place where you need to be. So it's a lot of good stuff for men, and I look forward to it. I hope you can share this link with other people. This is going to be rebroadcast, obviously, but I'm just doing live because I want to get this out. I was thinking about it this morning, and I was watching my wife. She works out. She does this for an hour every morning, at least an hour, and then she does it in the evening also. So rather than doing so much time, I think if you cut your time in half, increase your intensity a bit, I think you'll see much better results. All right, guys. Make today as awesome as you are. As always, if there's anything else you want to see, anything else you want me to cover, let me know, and I will do my best to cover it. But make today awesome. See ya.